Hello everyone, Paul here from the Pin Academy. So probably the week is starting and you're preparing to take some trades. And if some of the breakdowns we're going to do are part of your watch list, make sure you compare with your analysis and you see if it is worth it or not. And also, if it's not part of your watch list, you can use some of the techniques we're going to use here to learn, just to take some points out of it. Now, let's start with GBPUSD. I've spoken about it a couple of times. I've been looking at it ever since it was down here. Now, if I look at this, this actually we said it was not a real long-term uptrend. We wanted the market to come and retest some levels up here. Now, it has not done a proper retest, but you can clearly see that we have tested an area of sellers and the market is pushing down. And personally, I'm not ready to sell GBPUSD until it breaks below this point here. That's when I would say that the direction has now changed to going upwards to now continuing with the push downwards, right? So this place here is a very strong support to me that will determine everything, right? But we still have a strong level, strong movement or momentum of sellers in the market. Now let's check what the lower time frames say. Now, when you come to the lower time frames, you can clearly observe that we do have a downtrend. What do I mean by downtrend? The market is clearly making lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So let's actually check if the market did retest this area here, because we're looking for areas the market could retest before continuing down. Now, the market actually tested this area here, but it's not a very, very proper retest. So there's a structure the market left behind here. If you see, there's a structure here. So there's a possibility the market could want to come back and test this area here. So you can mark this area here like this. There's a possibility the market may want to come back and then it continues. You can see the market attempted to test it right here, but this is not a proper retest. Now, when you go down to the daily time frame, you can see this is the retest I'm talking about. Now, if you follow us on other social media platforms, we talked about this GBPUSD still. We have a push down. The market broke down. It attempted to come and test, not a proper retest. Then it pushed down. In the process of pushing down, we have a structure here. This is still communicating the same thing we have seen in monthly. Monthly says we need to still push down. Then weekly also is saying that we need to push down, but there's a place not properly tested, because the weekly is also in a downtrend. Now, when the market is making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, so if the market breaks below here, we expect a retest. So sometimes the market may retest this lower low, or it may come into this area here. As long as this area here has not been taken out, we are still in a downtrend. That's what one thing that people are confused, right? So in this case, if the market pushes up, and as long as then to take out this area here, we are still able to push it downwards. Now, fundamentally, the dollar is still strong. So it's not going to just keep pushing downwards. We shall expect some slight pullback, and then we can continue with our push down. Remember, this week we do have the interest rates of the dollar. And personally, I'm still giving the dollar strength, right? So this is daily. Now, if you check in H4, I spoke about this, like I mentioned earlier, on other platforms, that if in case you follow us. So we do expect we expect the market to break this point here. Those who recall that breakdown. So I'll just change the color here to green. So we did expect the market to come and break down here and then give us a retest of this area here, which it did. I've just not marked this properly. It did retest this area here. Now it's continuing downwards. So we still expect, if the market aggressively opens and goes above here, it will come and retest this area and then it continues down. Or if it retests this green level in a weak momentum, then from here we could again take our sell up to downwards. Or alternatively, if it just opens and stalls here in the next lower time frame, the defining time frames like minute 30, minute 15, you can take your trade from around this area up to down here, right? Let me just repeat that. If the market opens and GBP has strong momentum, then it will go and retest this area, depending on the momentum, right? If the momentum is not so strong, it will stop here, and then after the change of structure, then you can, or change of trend, you can take your sell up to here. If it is too strong, let it go and test this area here properly, depending also the momentum, right? Then we can take our sell up to down here. Now recall, the longer it takes to change trend while giving you good distance, the bigger the risk to reward ratio. Recall, if it changes from here, your take profit will be small at the distance. But if it changes trend from around here, your take profit distance is big, meaning that you make more profits. Traders tend to think that in case it doesn't change trend from an area that you want, you've missed out on a trade, or maybe you're wrong, or what. Just observe, focus on change of trend, because this is all your area of interest that you wanted to change trend from, as long as then take it out, right? So that's for GU. Now let's also look at another, maybe we can look at gold, because you guys like gold so much. So actually I have some levels marked. Let me remove them. So when you start from the monthly time frame, I've spoken about this also on other platforms. Maybe if you've watched, just let's make an update on it. So also gold, we say that overall, this is a weak momentum. So there's a higher chance that we're just making some tests down here before we can continue higher. That's the direction of gold. We just want some short-term push down, and then the market continues higher, right? So when you go down to the weekly time frame, what does it show us? Weekly continues to show us the same thing that we have seen on monthly. We have a strong momentum upwards. Then look at this momentum is weak. So we're just looking for a strong level of support that can hold price, and then we can continue upwards. Now let's try to go a bit deeper on this weekly structure that we have been seeing. There's a topic here I taught you guys on levels, marking levels where you can get areas of interest. So we had this area here that the market tested 2 times. When the market was coming to test this area, it gave us this turning point here. So when it gave us this turning point, it came and broke down. Typical lower low, lower high, lower low here, lower low, lower high, lower low. Now, instead of testing here, like I said, the market may come and test here, or it can come and test this whole area, and then it continues down. This is what the market did. So most people thought maybe the market has broken up to retest, and then it continues up, creating inverse head and shoulders. That's why we say, do not predict the price. Let price give you what to do, right? So in this case, those who don't understand structure were trapped. So the market broke down. Now, more interesting, people didn't know that since this market created a turning point here, it had to come back and test it. We spoke about this. You can watch the previous videos. So the market created this turning point, went tested this one. So meaning also we have a turning point here, and we have a turning point here. If you go to line chart, you can create turning points properly. So I'll just mark it there. So we have these 2 turning points of this level here. So the market had to come and test this area after breaking below. It broke this turning point and this one. So we had to go and test it. Now, currently the market closed above this area here, right? So let's go a bit into the daily time frame, and we see what is happening there, right? So when you come to the daily time frame, why did this market actually create a pin going inside there? Because the market also had this untested level here. I'll just turn it to red so that you can go to identify it properly. So that's why I say it went inside. Now let's check which level is not tested. We had lower low, lower high, lower low. The market broke above, never tested this area. That's why the market came back. But in the process, what it created this low, lower high, then went down. So meaning also we have a level that needs to be tested where? Here. That's why you see the market came back into this area here, right? So I'll just delete all these ones to make the chart very clean, because the rest were tested. I'll just delete this. Now, these are the levels that we're left with that we could use next week, right? So we are saying that, I just gave you my fundamental view on gold, because XAUUSD, that is gold, right? So we're saying that USD, according to my fundamental perspective on it, I see it's going to be stronger still. I cannot mention why I think it will be strong, because that's a long explanation. Maybe I'll do it in a different video. So the market created a low with a hidden structure here. I mentioned it also in the previous video. Then it came retested this area here. Then the market made a low. Now we talked about the market coming to retest this point here before going down. Now remember, this is something like this. This is a low, lower high, lower low, like this: low, lower high, lower low. And what have we just said? We have said the market can either come and retest this point, or it can even come inside here, as long as they don't break this point and it continues down. This is exactly what God loves doing this. God likes doing this so much. So it made a low, lower high, low. So instead of testing here, it has again gone above. Now, what we want is the market should not break above this point here, right? The moment it breaks above, it's very scary for us. It will give us a weekly test and it pushes up, right? So open your mind up. These are the things to watch out on gold. If the gold breaks above here, it will give us a weekly test, then it will continue up. But remember, the bias is still downwards, because it has not broken this lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. As long as then to take out this lower high here, this area, the market is still going to go down until this target here. So that's what we're watching out for gold. But also what we want is if the market can open and closes below here on a weekly test of this area here, of course, in our entry time frames, then you can take our sell up to down here. Why? Because the market rejected from here, came and gave us a false breakout. Now it has, those of you trade SMC and the rest, you can know that there's some kind of liquidity down here, right? So the market may want to come and grab it because most people are looking at this as support. So if the market can come and take out this, then it will be a perfect for us. So that's what I see on gold. I hope you guys are looking at the structures, how you can identify them. Not hard. You have a very neat chart and you don't overcomplicate things. So let's go slightly into H4 so that we can see it even much more better. So we can clearly see that the market didn't reach our area that we wanted to reach. It lost momentum and then impulsively went up. So what we want to see, once the market, after this impulse, giving us a correction a bit, then maybe a lower high, then breaks that higher low that it has created on a retest, then we can continue downwards. Or once the market giving us a retest of this area, then it gives us double tops into this area, or even a slightly high to grab liquidity into this area here, right? Then we can create a higher low here, then plus a lower high. When we break below it, on a week retest, then we can take our trade into this. Now you can look for that same pattern in even H1, though I usually advise people to use H4 because it's out of the small time frames, at least it gives you less noise and a lot of accuracy compared to others. I'm not saying it's the best or you should use it or no. Just use what is convenient for you, but as long as you follow what the market is communicating to you. So these are the levels that personally I'm looking at and also my team is looking at. Compare it with your analysis and see if it actually works for you. Don't mind what if the style we are trading is different, but you can just compare it to yours. Are the levels matching or not? Then you can see how to make your final decision. That is it. I wish you guys a profitable week. Have a great day.